Some pizza.
Oh, I'm full. I'm so full.
Rub it.
All
Rub
right.
the brain. You're not rubbing the brain.
Rub the
anymore.
brain.
Pass it on.
Oh, that's real good. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not touching that again. All right. Hello, and welcome to the No Expectations podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm James.
And I'm Max.
And today we are talking about 1979 or 1980s, depending on what region you're in, The Fog by John Carpenter.
Indeed we are.
Yeah.
I just had, okay, so The Fog, here's the synopsis. An unearthly fog rolls into a small coastal town exactly 100 years after a ship mysteriously sank in its waters.
Ooh.
Director, John Carpenter. Writers, John Carpenter, Deborah Hill. Stars, Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. I heard some rumors about her. Janet Leigh. And it won an award. Let's see what it won. Fantastic Film Festival. What did you guys think of it? Did it win any awards for you?
Sounds legit. Not really, but James and I both are massive John Carpenter fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's kind of our duty to watch every single John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, and this one just slipped the cracks as usual.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this was this after Halloween 2 or?
This would have been right before, I think.
Halloween
Yeah,
2.
because 78 was... Wait, shoot. 78 was the first Halloween, and then I think 80 or 81 was Halloween 2.
Okay.
So it's like, I think he might have done like The Fog, Halloween 2, The Thing. Like, I think it was like that, like boom, boom, boom. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this one was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't the caliber of The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the caliber of any of the Halloweens.
It didn't feel like for me, it just didn't feel very. I mean, the score felt like Carpenter for sure, but it just felt like I was watching a Stephen King movie.
Totally, yeah.
That's how it felt like. And even, I guess, John Carpenter wanted to make it like a story.
Okay.
So the opening's actually reshot.
Really?
And that wasn't like he just wanted to, because he's like wanted for more runtime for one, and then he just wanted to feel like it was like an old tale kind of story thing. Like they used to do that at campfires.
You know what it felt like to me? Did you guys ever watch any of the? Well, I'm sure you did. The Tales from the Crypt TV show.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me of one of those. It was kind of cheesy, but they did a good job though. It still had that Carpenter haunting quality that a lot of his stuff has, like a little bit of suspense. Like it wasn't as well executed as The Thing or Halloween by any means, but it was like on the way there. It almost feels like this is a movie that should have come out before he did Halloween.
Yeah, they I was reading up. They said this would have been. He wanted to make it like an anthology series kind of thing, like especially with how Halloween 3 is not really Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do something like that with this film.
Yeah.
And build off of it, like make more monsters coming from the fog, like
that would have been cool.
Different places, but it was.
Yeah.
I guess it was just not a financial success.
Damn, I would have liked that.
Yeah, that would have been
really cool.
A lot better. Different states, different places.
That'd be really cool.
Countries probably.
I think it was a good idea though. Like The Fog. Was this a remake? I think it was a remake.
No, this was. Oh wait, no. He actually, this was original.
This was original. Okay.
Yeah, he got the idea while
The Thing was a remake.
Yeah, The Thing was a remake. He got the idea with him and his girlfriend. I don't know if they're married right now. Still, Deborah Hill.
Okay. Longtime collaborator and lover.
They were together. They went to England, and it was very foggy there. And then they felt like something was watching them, but they couldn't see.
Oh.
So he just got the idea from doing that.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said to James earlier, it was like I think this one would get better with subsequent views. And I think had we grown up watching this, we'd have like more of a love for it. But just kind of watching it for the first time in 2021, it's kind of like, it was all right. For me, I would say a 3.5 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.
You gave it a 3?
3, yeah.
Okay. And I think the 3.5 for me is just my love of John Carpenter, where it's almost like I kind of give him a pass just because I really want to like it,
Yeah. I mean, the score alone.
It was great.
It's so good.
It was very similar to a Halloween.
Yeah.
It was like some of the rhythm on it. I was kind of like, oh, dude, this
that's
sounds
what
like.
they compared it to also. Like, that's why I didn't really... Like they were just like they wanted something different audience, and then they kind of just made it very suspenseful.
More of the same kind
of as Halloween, and that's why a lot of reshoots. So he tried to add more gore, more kills.
Yeah,
which I don't know where the gore was. Besides,
There wasn't
like,
very much.
Yeah,
no.
A lot of people talk about there's a gore. I'm like, where?
There's a little bit of like red on the throat when the fish hook goes in.
Yeah,
Spoiler
and then
alert.
Maybe at the hospital when the dead guy grabs Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, it was very tame. It was very tame horror. It reminded me of like a Goosebumps type story, you know, like how Goosebumps used to be. Like add that with a little bit of like PG-13 flair, you know. But yeah, it's good. I mean, it's worth a watch if you like John Carpenter. Definitely, add it to your list. But there was nothing spectacular about it. Not like The Thing. The Thing had all these amazing special effects working for it. It had a fantastic cast. I feel like the cast in this was kind of lacking.
It was.
Even Jamie Lee Curtis, like I love her, but she was nothing remarkable in this. Like
her character was
her character sucked.
Yeah. Let's go talk about the characters for a second.
Let's talk about the characters.
Jamie Lee Curtis was basically a hitchhiker and a whore. Yeah. And
sorry, Jamie, we love you.
I don't know. I just like you said, her character was just.
Her character had zero depth at all. Yeah.
And then even the kid too.
Kid sucked. Yeah.
So even at the end when they're all hauled up to the church and everything, he just goes running to Jamie Lee Curtis like they were like mother and son.
They had never interacted.
Yeah, they never. Yeah. No. Yeah.
The characters were terrible. Yeah.
The only character I probably like is the freaking radio chick.
Yeah, the lighthouse chick. Yeah. Adrienne Barbeau is her name? Barbeau.
Mm-hmm. But then again, still it was like
she was hot.
I think that's all. Yeah, so that's our hottie. I think for the movie.
She's the hottie, and then also that other one. I can't even remember the point of her character.
Yeah, the one who's coming in to celebrate the 100 years.
Yeah, she had nice sunglasses, and she was a cutie. She was a cutie too, but I'd say her and Adrienne Barbeau are the dimes of the fog.
And then, dude, I don't know, man. Like a lot of the characters are just very forgetful.
Yeah. Like actually, this would be a good time to do my favorite segment, alternate casting.
You go first.
And that way I can actually do my little cheat sheet and see who everyone was. All right, so Tom Atkins, the character of Nick Castle, Jamie Lee Curtis's like lover / protector guy. He was super boring, and also I thought the acting was terrible. Like just all the dialogue between them was like the fucking worst. That guy had really no point even being in there. No offense to the actor, I don't think he had anything to work with. But yeah, he was terrible. But his character's name was Nick Castle, or is Nick Castle. And fun fact about Nick Castle, the real Nick Castle is the name of the actor who played Michael Myers in the first Halloween. And he also went on to be a collaborator with John Carpenter, and he was the screenwriter of Escape from New York. And he also went on later to write Hook with Robin Williams.
I always forget about that. Yeah, he wrote Hook.
Yeah, fun fact. Really so cool. I think that character name was a little nod to his buddy. Yeah. So my alternate castings, Jamie Lee Curtis. Instead, I picked Carrie Fisher.
I thought about her.
I think Carrie Fisher would have been cool. Yeah, she would have been perfect era. Adrienne Barbeau, the lighthouse DJ chick. I picked Debbie Harry from Blondie because she actually did get into acting. She would have been the perfect age. She was beautiful, and she actually is like a musician, so she would have been a totally appropriate like DJ. And then Tom Atkins' character, Jeff Bridges, who actually did go on to collaborate with John Carpenter a few years later in Starman. And then Hal Holbrook, the priest in the very beginning, I picked Christopher Lee from Lord of the Rings because at that time he would have been probably like in his 40s maybe at that time, and I think he would have been perfect.
I think you'll like my Hal Holbrook one.
Let's do it.
It's different. It's silly.
Let's do it.
For mine, let's start with Tom Atkins.
Okay.
I did a long time collaborator with John Carpenter, Kurt Russell.
Oh, great choice.
I think it just. I don't know. It just adds more.
I love Kurt Russell. Yeah, I've never seen a. Well, even if I've seen a bad Kurt Russell film, it's not Kurt Russell's fault because he's such a damn good actor.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the most likable guy ever.
I agree. Jumping off that, I sent this to James when they were making the Stargate movie. They took a poll all around the world saying who was the most likable actor, and Kurt Russell had like a 0% dislike. So they're like, well, we got to cast him because he's like so likable around the world.
I still need to watch that movie too.
Stargate, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Oh, I will.
Hurry the fuck up.
Adrienne Barbeau, I did Sigourney Weaver.
Good choice. She crossed my mind too.
Yeah, I just thought for just Ghostbusters or something.
Heck yeah.
And then Hal Holbrook as a priest. I don't know why I went with this, but I thought it was. I said George Carlin.
That would have been freaking awesome, dude.
George Carlin.
That would have been freaking awesome.
I think he's still he had to look for it too.
Totally.
Still,
yeah.
And finally, Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's say Kathleen Turner.
Okay.
Which she will be for our next film as well. So we can talk about that now, or we can just continue with The Fog.
Your call.
I say let's continue with The Fog.
Yeah. We got to dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
You know what? I got one more that I think we should add more regularly, especially if it's a director that we really like. If, in an alternate universe, John Carpenter wasn't available,
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Who would you pick? You know who? I actually have two. But
Okay, I have Walter Hill.
Oh, great freaking choice. Great freaking choice.
That's the only one I have, Walter Hill.
Okay.
I think that's just like, it's hard for Carpenter.
Wes Craven or Stanley Kubrick.
Oof.
Stanley would have been amazing, dude. But he would have been working on The Shining at that time. But had he not, imagine that, though. It would have taken him like 2 more years and everyone would be crying on set. But, you know, it'd be good.
And, yeah, dude, and that would have been really good, even with like the pirates, the ghost pirates.
Oh my god!
So I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I mean, like the way, like if you look at The Shining, like all the ghosts in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine those ghosts like in the fog.
Oh, dude,
that would have been. Oh my gosh,
that would have been amazing.
Shit, just ripping off from their skin.
It has me
off.
dripping just thinking about it.
Ooh.
But no. Honestly, this movie like had a lot of untapped potential. It was still really good for the time. Like it's good popcorn fun. Like if you don't know what to watch around Halloween or any time of year and you just want a good scary movie, it's all right. You know, it's watchable. It's not magnificent, but it passes.
I'll go back to it probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like every year, but every other year.
I would say it's every 4 or 5 year movie
kind of movie.
for me.
I mean, I feel like I might watch it again this year just cause.
Yeah. But what I think would have made it so much better is really diving deep into the Fog lore and like seeing those pirate / whatever they were killers back in their prime.
That would have been good.
Get to know them like just a tiny bit, even in the opening, even just like 5 minutes of them would have been sick, and like some like crazy murder or something that happened, because I know there was like some murder. I was like starting to fall asleep. I don't really remember all the lore.
That's why they were killing the pirates were killing the people, like the 6 basically like last bloodline or something.
Yeah, they let the priest. The priest's like great grandfather or whatever was like a murderer or something like that.
Yeah, he stole like their riches and stuff.
Yeah,
that's why it was all melted down to gold into that cross.
It was kind of vague.
Yeah,
but it was kind of confusing. But and at the end they kind of looked like a Power Rangers villain coming in with the glowing red eyes. But yeah, it was. I would have liked to have seen more of them. And I would like to have seen a little bit more into like their origin, just like a bit. It would have been cool if the whole like opening was like that whole.
They should have had, like you said, going Nick Castle, because I mean he had a little writing for Hook, you know, some pirates things. They could have got some little venture going in there.
Well, maybe they didn't know because he hadn't written Escape from New York yet, and that was when they started collaborating as a screenwriter with John Carpenter. It was like 81 or 82, so like literally like just a couple years later. But in a perfect world, man.
Yeah.
So the budget on this movie was $1.1 million, and it was well received at the box office.
Was it?
Yeah, it did $21 million at box office, and then I guess critics didn't like it so much.
Shocker. Yeah, the critics, they're a hard monkey to please. Generally,
they'll eat themselves eventually.
Give them time.
Yeah, I don't follow critics anymore. I mean, technically we're.
Are there any?
We're better. We're better.
Are there any like critic websites that you guys go to? Rotten Tomatoes, is that still?
I just do Flixer, but it's connected to Rotten Tomatoes. But I go off the audience reviews because we're the audience.
I don't trust any of them. I think they're all pieces of shit.
It's like there's a lot of movies.
I don't trust any of them.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that I agree with them on, and there's like it's like 50-50, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, there's some that I'm like, no, you're fucking wrong.
I'm also, if it's any movie that I even remotely care about, I'm to the point where I don't even finish watching the entire trailer if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm sitting in the theater and I'm like strapped in, ready to go, I'm like, all right. Like, yeah, we're going to watch the whole thing. But like, generally, if it's like online, like The Green Knight, like I didn't finish watching the entire trailer because I was like, oh, this looks cool. So I like, you know, three quarters of the way through, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm going to just.
Kind of was forced to watch it when you're going to the movie theaters when they show it for me.
Yeah, I just don't want any spoilers because I feel like they're like, hey, audiences are dumb, so we have to show them like the entire fucking movie in the trailer.
They kind of hold your hand through some of these trailers.
They've been doing that for a long time too.
Oh, it's so nauseating,
dude. It's ridiculous. I was watching the trailer. What was it for? It was something a while back. It was for like Speed, and it was like I'm like, because I love Speed. It's a fantastic movie. Like if you go back and watch the trailer for that, like they give away a lot.
For Speed?
For Speed, yeah. It was like, I'm pretty sure it was Speed. But it's like there's movies like that where it's like they've been doing that for a while. Like they like hold the audience's hand way too much. Yeah. Like I like a good teaser trailer. You give me a solid teaser trailer, holy shit. Yeah.
I think the only person who was like kind of successful with that is like J.J. Abrams. But I feel like not now. Like I mean, like when he was like a few years back, he was really good at doing that.
Chris Nolan for the most part, just because everything with him is so fucking like, you know, not on the nose anymore. It's like everything's kind of like artsy, you know, when it comes to like Tenet and stuff, and everything has to be a little confusing and trippy. But like even if you look back at like The Dark Knight Rises, like the teaser for that was like freaking awesome. Yeah. You know? Like I look back at things like that and like that's like the standard, you know. The Dark Knight.
I wonder how you just get a job just to edit trailers.
I know a guy who used to do the music for trailers. Haven't talked to him in a long time, but he said it was very tedious. Yeah. And like they have very specific wants, like the studios, like they like to kind of like copy other things. He said it wasn't very creative.
Yeah, a lot of them are just kind of the same cookie cutter.
Yeah.
The sound for trailers is doom.
Yeah.
Doom doom doom.
There's literally a template that they use.
It's obnoxious. Yeah. Yeah. Take some chances, Hollywood. What the fuck?
They won't. Let's make sequels to everything and remakes.
Yeah. I don't really have too much more to say about The Fog. I feel like it could have been a lot better. I think with our casting choices, like they would have been a much better
we can expand on John Carpenter a little bit.
There was one thing I forgot. Janet Leigh is Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Which one's that?
The older woman that was in there, who was like
the one that was running.
I don't even know what her role. Like it's so forgettable what the character was doing. But she, like I said, I was really tired when I was watching it. But Janet Leigh was also in Psycho too.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
Which is kind of cool because Psycho and the stabbing and Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis. But Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay, so yeah, it's her. It's like the one who came back for like the whole party thing.
Isn't that wild though? They're both like horror damsels. Heroines, whatever you want to call them. That guy looks like Jim Carrey on the right, next to Tom Atkins. Doesn't he a little bit?
I can see it.
James Canning.
James Dick Canning.
Dick Baxter. No one has the name Dick anymore. Hi, my name is Dick.
Yeah, when I worked at Starbucks, it was always weird. Some guys, you have to ask for the name, like, what's your name? He's like, Dick.
Was he a young guy?
No, it was an older guy. It was a really older guy. And that's why, like, would just, like, someone else announce this, please.
Yeah.
I got a tall macchiato for Dick.
I got a very small venti iced white chocolate mocha for Dick.
Oh, the penis game is fun to play, and then you get actually a free pass to play the penis game.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, you're just bobbing for dicks at that point.
Do you want to talk about the music at least?
Sure, I think that.
Oh yeah,
kick it in, Max.
Well,
I feel like
I mean,
that's in your department.
I'm kind of a synth head. I love music. I went to school for a lot of audio stuff. I got a list here of different synths that he used. Specifically on the theme here, he used the Juno 106.
Ooh.
That's kind of a legendary synth. Yeah, he does lots of I guess he uses a lot of acoustic piano in accompanying these synthesizers. So I know. I mean, you know the sound.
Hell yeah.
That acoustic piano sound kind of mixed in there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what else? There's not a lot to say about it. It's that classic John Carpenter kind of carved that out for the horror movies in the 80s. I mean,
he did, man.
So many people. It's easy to get the sound, but you know, as a pioneer, you're kind of jumping off into the darkness, and you know that you're going to be followed by all these successors, right?
That's true.
And you're not necessarily going to be the best, but he's still the pioneer of that sound. And
so good.
I mean, if you got credit for that sound, that's huge.
Yeah, he's incredible. He doesn't get enough credit for that because, like, he really was the pioneer.
I agree.
You know what's amazing is I saw an interview with him and Robert Rodriguez, which I highly recommend checking out. It's super, super deep, like, on filmmaking. And John Carpenter talks about that, how a lot of his movies, he would do the score out of necessity because they would spend all their budget on, you know, something like The Thing, like on special effects. And they say, oh, man, we don't have enough money for a professional musician to score this film. So John would be like, fuck, I'll do it. So John Carpenter would, like, out of necessity and out of independent film, I guess you'd call it, like, cheapness or frugalness, would step up and make the soundtrack to a lot of these movies just because the budget didn't permit someone else to come in and do it. So he was just like, fuck it. You want something done right? Do it yourself. Really impressive. Really respect him. Yeah, I really respect him, man. Job. He's so good. This score was all right, but then, compare it to like Halloween or The Thing, and you're like, oh man, like so good. So good. Even Escape from New York, great soundtrack. Really great soundtrack. I don't really remember a soundtrack to They Live. I don't really remember anything spectacular. I don't remember it too.
I have to go back and watch that film.
Yeah, it's a good one, but I don't remember. Yeah, nothing in the music stands out to me. But yeah, man. And also, if you guys get the chance, if you like that kind of stuff, something James and I are both big advocates of, and I'm sure Max would love it too, would be John Carpenter's Lost Themes.
Yep.
He's done 3 volumes so far in the last like 5 or 6 years, and you can get them on vinyl. You can get them digitally as well. That's and awesome. It's him and a couple other collaborators, and he's gone back and he's re-releasing his old scores that didn't make it into certain movies, and they're really good, dude.
The last volume 3, and it's only we have like a special edition vinyl of it's green, and it's only 500 made. Yeah, and we got it.
Yep, we did. Yep. We did. Yeah, there might still be some available from Zia Records
on vinyl.
On vinyl, yeah.
Yeah,
heck yeah.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, if you get a chance, man, like John Carpenter as a musician, like everyone's just like filmmaker, and they kind of write him off as a musician, but like you said, like pioneer, dude. Like really good stuff.
I mean, I think he's the reason that people go crazy for a lot of these synths from it. Like he's just a big part of it. I mean, here's the Roland Juno 106 in 1980. It costed $1,095. Now you're paying about $3,000 for one that's in good condition.
And what's wild is synthesizer became such a huge part of the 80s sound for so many bands.
Oh, yeah.
And he was already rocking those back like in the late 70s.
Yeah, you had to be kind of a super nerd at that time to be able to service one of these things and be able to just, understand how oscillators and, the whole thing. It's a whole thing. Like, you really got to nerd out to
They're pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's something special about that sound, something haunting. I think the synthesizer is so amazing because it's able to capture a feeling of being futuristic and also being nostalgic for the past at the same time. It's like a weird mix of the both. Like, I love it.
Yeah. It's very basic as far as electronics go. It's just like it's basically just electricity flowing out of your speaker.
But it sounds so timeless.
It's so timeless. And the synths that he used are their analog synths, right? And so the Juno 106 actually, I don't know, is it digital? Anyways, you get that really warm analog sound from all of his soundtracks because they're recorded to tape. And I don't know. I don't have much more.
No, it's great, man.
It's good stuff. I just go crazy. I just close my eyes and I can just listen to the whole soundtrack.
I could chill this, dude. You got to listen to some John Carpenter Lost Themes. They're so good.
Man, I'm excited for that.
So good. So I have a question for you, James and Max, as both of you. So my question is, think of a movie from like the 80s or 90s or even 70s that feels like a John Carpenter movie but is not. It's kind of tough, right?
That's really tough.
I just thought of one right now because we were talking about soundtracks, but I'll tell you mine and see if you can think of any others. I was thinking The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah.
It has a for not being a.
I guess going with Arnold Schwarzenegger too.
That one feels like it. And fun fact about that one was directed by I think it was Hutch or Starsky, one of the original guys from Starsky and Hutch. I think it was Hutch. I can't remember his name, but Running Man, great movie.
Another one, because that just reminded me, Total Recall as well.
Total Recall does have a feel. Yeah, it definitely has that feel. Kind of like that.
More of like the mixture of like the Thing and just like the special effects.
Yeah.
I would say like
the practical effects and the sci-fi. Yeah, I think that one was Ted Kochev. No. No, that one was guy that did RoboCop. It'll come to me.
Paul Verhoeven?
Paul Verhoeven. Yeah. Underrated, dude.
I don't know who did Carrie, that Nicolas Cage movie. That's gotta be like.
Oh, you're talking about the one with
Nicolas.
What the fuck's your name? Carrie. I only saw Carrie once. The one with the blood all over her.
Yeah. It's a little bit more almost like a dreamy.
I could see that being a John Carpenter movie.
The soundtrack has similar.
Nicolas Cage in that film?
I don't think he is. Unless he was in there for a bit. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Oh, you got it right here. Sorry, go ahead. Carrie. What's that actress's name?
Is Nick Cage not in it?
No, Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek. That's her name.
We just love Nicolas Cage on the show, guys.
Yeah, so. Nicolas Cage gets mentioned, I think, every episode.
He's not in it at all.
You just had to drop his name.
Sissy Spacek, yeah.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, me and Max saw a film with Nicolas Cage's newest one, Pig.
Talk about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have not seen it, so no huge spoilers, but I would love to hear about it.
You go in thinking, I mean, if you watch the trailer or know the synopsis, you would think it's like some kind of John Wick kind of story, but it's completely different. It's about I guess you would say he's a chef, right? Or some famous chef that doesn't really go back into his backstory, like his history, what he did, but everyone knows him. His pig got stolen. He lives out in the middle of the woods. It's a truffle pig, and it's basically like his dog. Okay. So Max laughs at it because he thinks it's just a pig.
Well, I missed the very beginning.
You missed the beginning of the film.
I was at the end. I'm like, this would be really sad if it were a dog.
I was like, it was his dog.
But I guess in the beginning he's playing with the pig and it's like a buddy thing.
He loved it. Like he even mentioned it too. He's like, it's not even about the truffles. You know.
What was the vibe of it? Was it a drama? Like it looked. I don't get it. Like
it. I would say it's a drama. I want to say thriller, just a drama.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't really. I mean, there was like some action. I mean, like the little Fight Club thing was kind of cool.
Okay.
That he did.
Sounds like a weird ass movie, but
it
at
is
the same
weird.
time, interesting.
But this one's supposed to be like. People are saying like Nicolas Cage is going to be like nominated for this movie, which is like
anytime he does anything really fucking weird. Yeah. Which is a lot.
I could see it with this one.
Yeah.
But it's like it's been a while since he's been.
Yeah, I mean, weren't they talking about that with Mandy? Wasn't that the one where they were?
No, they were just saying that just visually.
Okay.
Oh, Carrie. I was thinking of Mandy.
Mandy.
Okay, that's the movie I was thinking of.
Okay, so you weren't thinking about Carrie at all.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. Because I was gonna say Carrie was actually a solid choice for being, in that realm, like the Stephen King.
Stephen King, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I saw it.
Oh, okay. Period. Blood. All right, continue.
That's about it with Pig.
I mean,
you can
the cinema. Like for me, I look at camera work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I look at. The camera work was cinematography. You could say it's good.
Pretty darn good.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's a little slow. There's lots of these drawn out shots. They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at times you can, if you have ADD, it could be kind of daunting.
It was
to
sitting
get
there
through
for
the
a
whole
while.
movie.
Yeah.
It's no Walter Mitty, huh?
I wanted to. I mean, I almost like kind of fell asleep. Like I was in and out. I mean,
sounds great.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I mean, it's just I don't know. I wanted to see what the rave was about, and it's just I love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
It's still a good.
If it wasn't Nick Cage in there,
movie.
this movie I would never see in my life.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, what I would say is if you work in the restaurant industry,
Yeah.
it's really going to hit home for you.
Okay.
If you don't, there's a lot of stuff that you kind of won't understand.
It's just because, like, for most restaurant people, like chefs and everything, they have this vision that they want to do something, and then they just become static in this restaurant. Like, that's what happens with, like, even, like, Nicolas Cage is telling, like, a restaurant owner, and he's like, last time I talked to you, like, I want you, like, you talked about opening up a bar and everything, and now you're doing this, like, what happened kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess as in that industry, like, chefs go through that all the time probably.
Yeah.
Like, they just like, okay, I'm here, and I'm cooking still, but I'm not doing what I fully want to do.
Dude, I knew people like that when I worked in the restaurant industry. I was only a server. I was a server for like 3 years, and it was fun. It was good at the time. Would I ever go back and do it? Hell no. But at the time, at that place in my life, it was really good.
It's good, honest work.
Yeah, it was great money at the time. Met really cool people. It was pretty fun. It was actually a fun environment. But there were some people I worked with where I was like, dude, what are you still doing here? There'd be some people I'd work with that were, quite a bit, like twice my age, and they were super cool, like super cool people. But I'd be like, dude, you've, been all over and done all this cool stuff. And I'm like, you're working the same job as me, when I'm like 21. And I'm like, man, you should be like running your own place or like whatever. And I just saw this like complacency where these people like kind of just didn't evolve after a certain point. And it was weird. And there was like a bartender who'd been there since like 1989 or 1990. And like, he just never progressed. Like that was like his job, when he was like 20.
That's super common, man. That's super common. That happens a lot.
Yeah. And
there's always that guy.
And I'm not knocking it because I know some, bartenders and stuff can make great money. I'm not disrespecting that at all. But there are guys, I look at them and I'm like, man, like you have so much potential that you just didn't and haven't gone after. And I'm like, man, like it blows my mind because like you talk to them and you're like, wow, you're like so badass. Like you're like one step away from like being a boss.
Yeah.
But you choose not to. And I'm like, that's so interesting to me,
Yeah.
I think we all meet people like that, though.
Especially, I think especially when you I heard a joke the other day where like you either follow your dreams or you get certified to run a forklift.
Okay.
There's no in between,
Okay, yeah.
But that's kind of, I mean, that's that's kind of how any industry goes.
That's true.
If you lose sight of what you want your big picture to be, what you want your life to look like,
Yeah.
I just think the restaurant industry is so fast paced that before you know it,
Yeah.
your life is moved on.
Yeah, it's a grind, but there's also pluses to it. Like, I feel like you get a real strong connection with your coworkers in a lot of places where it's like you can go out, you party with them. And also that partying aspect is a huge part of the service industry.
Yeah.
No one talks about unless you have worked in it. And it's like the drugs, the drinking, like all that, like that. I mean, that takes a toll on those people too, you know?
Yeah. When you're eating at a 5-star restaurant, you're basically funding somebody's cocaine habit.
110%.
Mm.
110%, yeah. So, who's going out to eat tonight? Johnny's got a coke habit. He can't quit. Monkey needs a new pair of shoes.
Oh, monkey.
This is a fun episode.
It's a fun episode. I like branching out. It's nice. Oh, also, James, by the way, happy birthday.
Oh,
and
thank
badass fucking t-shirt. Very cool. Very
This
cool.
was, let me get there we go.
Oh, look at that.
Brought
Look
to
at
you
that.
by Ben.
A
This
gift
guy.
from a good
Yeah.
man.
This guy.
Thank you.
Also, I have an X-Files shirt on that I'm very proud of. I got this on Redbubble, guys. Check it out. Max, you have a drone shirt on.
My shirt is actually from Nurk. He's a FPV pilot who works in Hollywood, and
Very cool.
he's won a World Series drone race,
Nice, dude.
and he's just on YouTube. He's a great guy.
That's
badass. He's not the greatest pilot. He seems like a really nice guy to be around.
That's
I'd really
awesome.
love to fly with
I
him
think
one
I
day.
remember-
Nurk, if you're listening.
I think I remember when you got that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't it come in a
Little-
pack? In a pack? Like-
Yeah, and I got the mug too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
badass. Yeah.
He got me with the giveaways.
We all have cool shirts. Giveaways, man. That's awesome.
We
Eventually,
should do a giveaway.
yeah, hell yeah. Once we get some serious viewership on here, guys, like, subscribe, and share.
Yep.
Guys, seriously, come on. Come on. We're making the show for
Do it.
nobody right now, but it's for you. It's for you. Come on. Eventually, I would say after 1,000 subscribers, I would say, let's do it. Let's do a giveaway.
Yeah,
you
we'll
know?
do 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So subscribe to the video, I guess.
It would be nice. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Come on. Hurting our feelings. Jesus. How we doing here? I'm seeing a blinking.
Yeah,
I'm
I
seeing
don't
a
know
Yeah,
blinking.
what your camera's low.
Is that what it was?
Okay.
Yeah, we need to get you a dummy battery.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
do.
guys. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Well, after let's pick our next film.
Yes, go ahead. Go
Um,
ahead. We know what it is. Go ahead. I'll let you
I
kick it
forget
off.
the name already. I'm sorry. You
Oh.
know what it is.
So-
I just know who's in it.
What we decided on was The War of the Roses with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. Also directed by Danny DeVito. 1989 film. Check it out so you can know what we're talking the next episode. Very excited. Huge fan of everyone in that movie, especially DeVito.
Yeah, I'm just there for DeVito.
Yes. And Michael Douglas is
Michael
great,
Douglas
too,
is
man.
good. Yeah.
He's awesome. He's
I just
awesome.
feel like I haven't watched him in that much recently.
Well, now's the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So be
Looking forward to
kind. Be kind.
Rewind.
And subscribe.
Thanks for watching, guys. Love you.
Bye.
That was fun.
Good.
Good shit.
Some asshole got drunk and started taking this 100-year-old business too seriously.